Oh man, I am so excited to be here because, yeah, this is the story all about how email got flipped, turned upside down. We're going to take a minute, just sit right there, and I'll tell you how the inbox became the prince of the marketing air. Welcome to the Fresh Prince of Email. Let's have some fun. I'm Brendan Farnand, and no, I didn't grow up in West Philadelphia, but I did grow up glued to this show. First and foremost, I am a marketer. I'm co-founder and chief evangelist at a company called Knack. And my day job is helping brands with their email strategy and untangling their email chaos using our platform. Today is all about understanding why email rules have changed and how to stay prince of the inbox. So when I was a kid, this right here, this was the moment. Me and my brother in my parents' basement watching Fresh Prince on our old box TV. No tabs, no filters, and no AI, that's for sure. Just straight vibes. Fast forward to today, and the inbox is way more complicated, but that's where the fun starts. Here's what we're unpacking today, folks. Part one, why the inbox reality has totally changed. Part two, how to play by these new rules through 3 key strategies that you can use. And part 3, I'm going to be giving you an actionable playbook to take home with you. A lot of what I'm sharing today comes straight from Knack's email strategy team. They are like deep in the trenches, studying inbox behavior and how it's evolving. They're kind of like the science department at Bel Air Academy, and I'm just here to translate it into plain English for you all. So also throughout the talk, watch for these certified Carlton moments, okay? This is your cue that something is kind of worth dancing about. Well, dancing. I'm not sure that that's dancing. But anyway, it's something. But think of these kind of as your key takeaways, like the mic drop moment for you email marketers out there. Okay. All right. I'm excited to dive in. So we're kicking off with where it all started. The old rules of email. Back then, it was really simple. Send an email, get a click, call it a day. But just like Will moving from West Philly to Bel Air, the inbox really had to grow up. Today, the inbox has never been a tougher place. Let me hit on some of the major shifts that have recently happened here. So first, inbox providers are now enforcing engagement standards. Second, AI is now gatekeeping what lands and where it lands. Third, every send counts. We're going to go into all of these in a bit more detail today. But today, really every inbox is a battlefield. Filters, AI sorting, user behavior. It's not spray and pray anymore, folks. The inbox is the new Bel Air. Gated, exclusive, and only the very best get invited in. Okay, so here's the truth. Engagement just became non-negotiable. Gmail, Yahoo, Microsoft, Apple, they're all now scoring senders based on engagement. AI models prioritize most relevant and most wanted emails. And your emails all have neighbors now. Promotions, social updates, tabs. The inbox is a gated community with zoning laws. So you got to design for where you land. We do have a certified Carlton moment here. Just write this down. Deliverability equals engagement plus reputation now. Okay. Take notes. Now we're moving into the fun part here. So now, we want to talk about how to actually play in this new inbox world. So we're gonna cover our first strategy here, strategy number 1. So we know that open rates used to rule. But now it's all about engagement signals. AI is always watching. Are people replying? Are they scrolling? Are they saving? The inbox is actually ranking your content just like social media does. Gmail is kind of like your new Uncle Phil, judging whether you actually belong at the table at all. So, look, we've all seen the tricks that all the other marketers tried. Maybe some of us tried them too in the past. But let me walk you through some of the no-nos that are happening these days, or tend to happen, or might be kind of enticing for you marketers to try. But a couple of key no-nos here. So mixing promotional and transactional content first. This is actually against CAN-SPAM and technically is illegal. But a lot of marketers did this because transactional emails have nearly 100% open rate, right? Second, hacking the tab system by kind of tricking the filters through email design or maybe subject lines, like making it look like a forwarded email. Again, another big no-no. Sending too much general content and sending too often, basically spamming everyone with junk, emailing people every hour on Black Friday, that kind of thing. And also finally kind of making it too difficult for folks to unsubscribe or change their preferences. These tricks basically made inboxes unusable, leading companies like Gmail, Yahoo, and Apple to punish everyone by implementing these stricter rules. So another Carlton moment, if you haven't figured it out already, these tricks no longer work. They're actually going to lower your chances of being seen in the inbox. So remember that. All right, moving on. Strategy number 2. You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. We all remember that part, right? So translation, when things get chaotic, it's time for some structure. So let's dive in a bit. So mom introduced a bunch of new rules and mechanisms here. So let me walk through what some of the inbox providers have put in place now. So first, making it easy for people to manage subscriptions and unsubscribe. They built one-click unsubscribe buttons right into the interface. Second, categorizing mail into tabs. Gmail started it, of course, but now everyone is doing it, automatically sorting your email by type. And third, rewarding transactional and update content by utility. They're extracting key events like things like receipts, gift cards, promotion codes, that kind of stuff. And they're promoting emails that are clear and 100% utility focused. And what that means is that they're also punishing those that try to use transactional moments to promote other things. And we're going to go into what that can look like. Fourth, displaying promotional content by relevance instead of chronological order. So I'm just going to pause there for a second. This is huge, right? Your latest email might not even appear at the top if your previous emails weren't engaging enough. Yikes, right? It's like pretty scary. You can't cheat the inbox anymore. Gmail knows. So respect preferences, honor engagement. Don't try to outsmart the filters. Work with them. You can't shoot hoops in Bel Air using West Philly rules. Okay, everyone? It's a big one. All right. Subscription management centers, they aren't just about compliance. They're opportunity. Yahoo, Gmail, Apple have all added tools to make it really easy to unsubscribe. So here's the key. Easy unsubscribe equals engagement hygiene, not risk. Don't stress about that, right? Proactive subscription controls and options reduce spam complaints. Give people control. What do you actually want to hear about? It's kind of like offering their favorite flavor of content, but every time that they're engaging with you, which is really great. And as a bonus, you get better data, lower churn, and happier algorithms. So it's actually kind of a win-win. All right. You see how easy you can make it for your audience to choose? Every toggle is a trust moment. Empower your readers. That is how you stay invited to the inbox party. All right, let's take a look at these examples from Outlook and Yahoo. So they both implemented their own tab systems, as we've talked about. Outlook has this getting too much mail prompt with easy unsubscribe options built right in. Yahoo has their full tab structure at the top with primary, offers, and other categories. So everyone is doing it now. So this is the kind of the new normal here across all major providers. So we got to get used to this. Your emails now should have a very clear purpose. So they basically go to the right tab every time. Don't try to game the tab system. Tabs are here to stay. Don't fight them. Think of each tab as kind of like a Bel Air neighborhood, right? Promotions tab, throw the best block party on the street. Fit the vibe of where you land and your engagement will soar. Great brands are actually embracing this, and they're really, really shining right now. So really, Bel Air isn't really lowering its standards here. It's there to raise yours. So let's take a look at some of these examples here from Yahoo and Gmail. Emails that are recognizable as transactional will be highlighted and their details extracted and displayed, like we kind of chatted about earlier. So here, clarity of brand, content, and purpose is king. Transactional emails are your most open real estate, right? So use them wisely. Confirmations, updates, receipts. It's kind of like your, I'm still here moment with the customer. So we do have a certified Carlton moment here. I'm going to pause for a second, right? Sneak in value, not ads. The email should be single purpose here for transactional emails, folks. So a purchase confirmation for X product from X brand should contain only that information so the filter doesn't get confused, okay? Key tip there from Carlton. All right. Look at Apple's priority inbox and Gmail's promotions tab here. They're both organized by relevance. Okay. So in this world for promotional emails, engagement really is king. Your engagement across your entire list is really under the spotlight right now on every single send. Promotional does not mean spammy. Make your emails fun, personal, relevant. Think Will Smith energy, not Uncle Phil lectures, okay? If people enjoy your content, they'll look forward to your next drop. Just remember, engagement signals are now judged across your entire list on every single send. Okay. Now we're getting to strategy number 3. So putting your customer in the driver's seat. So this is really all about letting recipients manage how they hear from you. So every click, every open, and preference signal is really valuable data. You can even use it to power things like personalization loops. The recipient really is in charge now, basically full stop. There's no other scenario. They choose what to read, when, and from whom. So you are not driving the cab. You're along for the ride here, like Will is in the cab here. So Design every send like it needs to earn its seatbelt click. And we're actually going to take a look at what good looks like here in a second. And we'll kind of dive into a few examples here in this next section. Cool. Okay. So Dyson's pre-Black Friday Cyber Monday email is a really great example, and allows kind of their readers to easily pause in this busy email season. This is a really good example of giving your audience control, right? It actually, and believe it or not, it prevents unsubscribes because of the overwhelming volume in the season, the Black Friday season. And people can pause it, which they really appreciate. So the more options like these you can give your audience, the better. You always want to give them choice. Let them set the pace, right? Weekly, monthly, only memes. Great preference centers feel like a really friendly chat, not a data grab. This next example, North Face and DK, they have great preference centers when you sign up for their services, which encourages people to show what they're interested in, right? So they do a great job of making it easy, making it visual. Clean design means higher engagement, of course, and the inbox wants clarity, not chaos. So less kind of Bel Air blueprint and more kind of simple living room layout here for these things. This is kind of a cool one here. So this is HubSpot's re-engagement campaign. It actually follows through on unsubscribing people automatically. So let's look at the email here. Super clear and concise. And it ensures that their list basically is going to be fresh and more qualified all the time, which, can be scary, I think, for some, but I think it's a really cool strategy. And a neat touch there at the end, they remind their audience of the content they'll be missing out on if they do unsubscribe. So trying to kind of entice them to read more. So old lists, honestly, drag people down, right? Clean them regularly, prune it, verify your list, refresh it. Think of it kind of like Will's sneakers. You got to keep them clean if you want to stay fly. This can be kind of, I think, a scary proposition for some. But don't be afraid of this. I think keeping your list clean is really, really important and is actually going to help you in the long run. So Chewy.com has a great sign up email here. So we're going to take a look at this one here in some detail. So take a look at the sender name. Very clear, right? Branding and Bimmy logo. They're there building trust with the audience. The subject line is super clear. Action is very clear. The only other details here are all super relevant to a new subscriber. So a lot of info in here, including kind of unbelievably a phone number, which I don't see very much anymore, which is great. This is really building trust with the audience, which is pretty amazing. Value propositions in here are kind of reinforcing the choice to open the account here with them. Other options are all about convenience, right? No promotional or other information which could kind of dilute the message here. It's all here in the email. So this right here, this is trust in action. Clear information, great design, and subtle brand voice. So, every quote unquote boring message is actually a chance to build loyalty with your audience. So don't sleep on the basics. Okay. Here's another good transactional email example. So this talk reservation confirmation, again, super clean, clear, simple, no fluff, no cross sells, no promotions. All the info in here is really helpful, right? The details are super clean and basically could be recognized and extracted in the inbox. So as reminders for the audience. So notice also, if you look at the content of the email, notice how it feels conversational as well. That's kind of the secret here, right? Stop sounding like a brand and start sounding more like a friend. People read people, not logos, right? All right. So now it's time for the playbook. All right. How to actually win in Bel Air. This is kind of your remix moment here. So take everything we've learned and put it into action. Carlton would be very proud of all of us here. He's probably dancing still. Okay. Some really key high level pieces here that I wanted to share. So there's a lot of newfangled AI predictive like automation tools out there. They're all great, but they are not magic. Hype doesn't replace consistency. Cool tech kind of means nothing if your audience isn't engaged. Okay. So don't chase emerging tech unless your basics are already strong. And like we've kind of been talking about, over automation can really kill authenticity. So you got to be careful there. So here's kind of your transactional email checklist. Okay. So we talked about it. I'm gonna reiterate it, right? Send super clear purchase, order, and transactional emails. Okay. Be precise, obvious, and clear in these emails. Do not include other messages. Stay consistent. Keep them clean, clear, and branded. Always deliver the value first. Think, the way you think about this is I'm helping you, not I'm selling to you, right? Respect their attention like their royalty. So key details like the purchase quantity and date should be prioritized. Never bury those, right? Do not include other messages in these emails. Again, I'm going to reiterate that this will dilute the message, confuse the filters, and reduce your positioning. So don't do it. And yes, marketers, this actually means no promotional content at all, which is already actually a can spam no, like we talked about. But what you can include is you can definitely include relevant and helpful information, such as like things like warranty details, care instructions, return instructions, support stuff, right? This will build trust with your audience and actually will strengthen your brand, right? The other stuff, it's not going to help you. So stay consistent, keep the formula consistent, right? From name, how you word the subject line, the details you include in every email. This helps the filters recognize you and categorize you better. So don't jump around with zany changes. Again, that will not help you. For promotional emails, let's talk about those for a second. So timing doesn't matter as much as meaning here. Okay, folks. So let's all forget the send at 9:02 a.m. on a Tuesday rule, right? If the message isn't valuable, it will not land, no matter when you send it. Okay, so start by answering the only question that actually matters. Okay, what is in it for them, right? What is in it for the reader? Make that payoff very clear in the first line, right? Because let's be real, people are scrolling, are scrolling. They're not studying, right? And clarity beats cleverness every single time. AI filters love it, and so do humans, okay? So Uncle Phil would delete your punny subject line before you could say Bel Air, right? And design-wise, let's talk a little bit about design. You want to make it feel like an invite, right? Not an advertisement. Think more like come hang out, not like buy now, right now, right? Every send should feel a bit like a conversation, not like a broadcast, like a one-to-many broadcast. And I think, if you think about playing the long game here, engagement builds kind of like trust with people, right? Slow, steady, earned, right? That's kind of how you want to think about that. The best brands, honestly, are treating every email as a relationship moment. So if people look forward to your next message, you have already won. All right. So you know the rules. You've got the playbook. Deliverability equals trust, engagement, and respect. Okay. Now this is a story all about how email got flipped, turned upside down. So deliverability is cool, but engagement is cooler. Keep it real, keep it relevant, and don't be afraid to have fun with your brand. Or as Will would say, now this is a story about how your inbox got flipped, turned upside down, and came out better. So I want to give a huge thanks to our email strategy team here at Knack. Everything we talked about today is grounded in their data and their real world testing that they do every day. They are the brains. I'm just the hype man. Shout out to all the real ones out there who live and breathe deliverability, engagement, customer love. And of course, thanks to Will Smith for making us all want to be the prince of something. Thank you. Looking forward to taking your questions here. Let me know if you have any questions.
Hi, everyone. That was an amazing session. Thank you so much for being here today. Before we go into the Q&A, I do just want to point out that there is an offer pinned to the chat. And if you can please check that out and also take part in the poll that's also on the right-hand side of your screen. And if you scroll down below this video, you will find the deck to today's presentation along with the AI summary. So without further ado, we'll bring in Brendan and Jack. And Brendan, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air tie-in, I'm loving it. Like there were so many times I was just like smiling and laughing during it.
I just want to go back to my parents' basement and watch more Fresh Prince episodes on reruns. I don't know about you, but
it's on my list. I'm like, okay, we're going to do that. Which the great part is I have 2 high school kids. We've watched the reruns before and it still tracks today. Like they enjoy it too. So
100% totally relevant, not just in 2025, but also for email, apparently.
Yes. Got to keep it clean to stay fly, right? Like you said.
Yeah, you got it.
Who knew it pertained to email lists also?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm joined here today by my colleague Jack Steele. That's his real name. And he's part of our email strategy team. So thanks Jack for joining me here to help. He's here to help me out with the tough questions coming in the Q&A.
Yeah, awesome. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And I know we don't have a lot of time. So everyone, we will do our best to get through as many as we can. But again, if we're not, I know we're probably not going to get through all of these because a lot came in. You can also, touch base with Jack and Brendan on LinkedIn. And, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to get you any answers that you need. So the first one that came in is 80-20 transactional to promotional a no-no.
Yeah, there's a couple questions about kind of the transactional to promotional mix here. I think, I know there's other sessions that are talking about how you can do some promotional content in your transactional emails. It's not an absolute no. I think what I really want to get across is that you need to really index on the utility first, right? You need to be informational first, organized, good branding, all that kind of stuff, info first. And then, yes, it is fine to do a little bit of promotion or add a little promotional content into those as well. It's not a huge no-no, but definitely make sure you get the foundation right first. Right. And maybe Jack has maybe a few more details he can add to that.
Yeah, I would just say, kind of echoing what Brendan said there, you don't want to take focus away from the utility of the email. And, I would say probably adding like subtle value adding links. Like, let's say it's a kind of purchase email. You might have a view similar products link there as a value add, but, you wouldn't want to be having huge buy now buttons for other products that would then kind of risk deviating the original intent of the email.
Yeah, I think, Brendan, you had a good line in your presentation too, where it's like, I think the overall idea is I'm helping you, not selling you, right? So yes.
Yep. Yeah. Always got to think about that. How do you help as
Right.
opposed to, how do you sell them?
And another question we have here is, what is the most common email design mistake that hurts performance?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something we hear a lot here at NAC, and I think to me the most common thing that happens, I think, is folks get a little carried away with their email designs. Right? Good email design, yes, is unique and exciting, but it also is built with best practices, keeping all the things that we just talked about in the presentation, keeping all of those things in mind. And it can be easy to kind of go too far off of, best practices and stuff in email. And as enticing as that is, and I'm totally guilty of that as a marketer, you really want to design something incredible. You can still do that while still keeping in mind all the email best practices, especially for promotional content. Obviously, you want to keep it fresh and unique.
Right.
Have to make sure to remember the basics and the foundationals there with email design. Jack, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say another one that that comes up fairly often is kind of going overboard with the amount of images and going, full image based with an email. It can be tempting with like everything that you can do in an image. There's obviously, from a design point of view, there's so much you can achieve, but that's gonna A, have accessibility issues, and B, possibly cause issues with spam filters as well. So yeah,
Right.
I think you want to have a good balance of text and images in order to get the best results.
Awesome. I think we have time for one more question. We switched our email template and it did well at first, and now 2 months in, it's doing terrible. How often do we need to change things? And then there's another change question that came up, so we can maybe tie it together. Someone talks about they want to kind of change things up, but they don't want to do too many changes too often. So what are your guys' recommendations when it comes to, how often should you be kind of testing new looks and feels and, all of that stuff?
Yeah, that's another great question. Something we hear about a lot at NAC. I think changing up your template and design is important, certainly to keep things fresh and that kind of thing. I think there's two components to this, right? One is the design of the email itself, right? The other is the code, right? And so one of the reasons that we hear from companies why their templates stop working is actually because they aren't testing them often enough, or the code has gotten so stale, because they coded their template 2, 3, 6 months ago or whatever, that it's actually stopped rendering properly on all of their recipients' devices and clients and things like that. So I think the two pieces are one, changing up designs is good, right? I mean, there's a balance there between the ability to reuse good content, good design, and kind of changing it up all the time. I think there's a bit of a spectrum there that you need to strike a bit of a balance. And I think that really depends on your own company and your own audience that you're sending to, but also the code has to be perfect every time, right? You need to make sure that you have good rendering emails. You cannot code a template, at a point in time and expect it to render perfectly forever. It just won't happen. Right. So, you're either building in a creation platform that is constantly, generating perfect bulletproof code, or you are retesting your template early and often, so that you can ensure that it is rendering perfectly everywhere.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know we weren't able to get to all those questions. So again, you guys feel free to reach out to Brendan and to Jack. You guys, thank you so much for being here today. This was Awesome. We appreciate you guys so much. And everyone, before you leave, remember, if you scroll down below this video, you'll find the deck, which again, amazing deck. It's so fun. And you can also get that AI summary. You have the poll on the right-hand side of the page also, as well as a free offer pinned to the chat. Thanks again, you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.